The European Union is forking out €200 billion on its stimulus package, a desperately needed kickstart for its economy, which is predicted to contract by 2.4% this year, and a safety blanket for 500 million people. At this gathering of political and business leaders at the European Business Summit, the message was simple: all 27 members of the EU back the plan.
So the EU still got the right plan to get the economy going?
Oh yes, this plan was approved unanimously by all the member states of the European Union. It was approved by all the member states, this plan. So it's on track and now we are implementing it.
But under the surface are plenty of tensions, especially amongst the newer members of the EU.
The Czech Prime Minister is supposed to be at this European Business Summit, but he's just lost a vote of no confidence in his own parliament. And that underlines the strains facing some of the newer members of the European Union.
There's pressure from Washington on the European Union to double the size of the stimulus package, but the Czech leader, in undiplomatic language, warned that policy was the road to hell. He said Europeans couldn't afford massive budget deficits, and it would further destabilize global financial markets. However, the European Commission quickly tried to snuff out the controversy.
I think every nation across the world is having to look very carefully at how it supports its economy. The Eurozone is no different to that. Certainly the European Union, the countries working together, is an important bulwark against the economic climate that we face. Very, very important to collaborate, work together, and what's been fantastic is seeing 27 countries trying to do that and do it well.
Despite that sentiment, there are both differing views on the scale of the stimulus that's needed and a tendency by many to opt for protectionism during troubled times. According to the World Bank, 17 of the G20 countries have introduced measures to protect certain sectors and jobs.
There are a lot of voices now raised against protectionism, and I think it would be very good if these voices could go from voices to actions. I think there's a lot of talk, and I don't see so much actions. I can't see anything really has changed over the last 12 months compared to what we've seen earlier.
Slovakia, where IKEA builds most of its furniture for Western Europe, was the last country to sign on to the euro. The currency celebrates its 10th anniversary this year, but now few countries like Slovakia would be keen to join. The economic crisis underlined that new EU members from Eastern Europe and the Baltics have economies that are simply nowhere near the same level as in Western Europe. Their currencies are no match for the strong euro yet.
90% of entrepreneurs, they are in favor. And I think it's a question of time. But because of the current situation in Europe, and I would say in Eurozone, I don't think that there will be anybody who would be willing to, let's say, adopt a new country, doesn't matter if it's Czech Republic or Poland, let's say within the next 2-3 years.
The euro has been probably a good thing for many European countries in such turbulent times. But now is the time actually for Europe to have a voice and to have a few clear direction in terms of where the governments, the countries should invest to restore confidence in the community.
Cross-border unity is urgent. The new tide of public anger towards the financial community is gathering steam and may pick up where the violent anti-globalization movement left off a decade ago.
Some degree of violence, latent violence, sometimes explicit, is in the air, and I think the sooner we fix the crises, the better for democratic politics, because anger and violence don't go well with democratic ways of reaching agreements and settling disagreements.
Despite the tensions within the EU, there are still plenty of outsiders lining up to join, like Macedonia. It's been told it's a serious candidate, but straightening out the differences amongst the current 27 members means it may have a long wait ahead.